Most SCHD versus DGRO comparisons, they all end the same way. Someone pulls up a 5-year total return chart, declares a winner, and we move on with our lives. And if you're watching this video, you've probably seen that comparison already. But what you haven't seen is the part that actually matters, right, for someone building passive income, which is that total return and passive income are not the same goal. And optimizing for one does not automatically optimize for the other. And in today's video, I want to walk you through both funds the right way, what they're actually built for, and the differences and how they compound over time, and which one makes more sense depending on what stage of income building that you're specifically in. So both SCHD and DGRO, they're dividend-focused ETFs. We know that both hold US equities, both have low expense ratios, and a very strong track record. On the surface, they look like they're solving the same exact problem, right? But their methodologies are different enough that they attract completely different types of capital, and they really behave differently in different types of market conditions. So let's talk about SCHD, right? This is the Schwab US Dividend ETF, equity ETF. Selects 100 holdings based on 4 quality factors: cash flow to debt ratio, return on equity, dividend yield, and dividend growth rate. It then weighs by modified market cap with no single stock exceeding 4%. It reconstitutes annually, right? Systematically rotating out those stocks that don't run up and into stocks that have been sold off. Really a mechanical kind of buy low, sell high process that happens every single March. We have a video on that recently. And then we have DGRO. This is the iShares Core Dividend Growth ETF. Takes a way broader approach. It screens for companies with at least 5 consecutive years of dividend growth. Then it filters out the top 10% highest yielders, which typically are often the most financially stressed out companies. And then it weighs the remaining holdings by total annual dividend income. The result is a much larger, more diversified portfolio, typically holding 400 to 500 companies versus, SCHD's 100, right? Now, the big difference here is SCHD is a lot more concentrated, quality filtered income, while DGRO is broader, growth-oriented dividend fund that really tilts towards that dividend consistency over the current yield. Now, the framework question I'd ask anyone comparing these two is, what do you need your portfolio to do right now, right? If you're like in that accumulation phase, you got 10, 20 years for needing income, right? The growth of the dividend over time matters more than the current yield. A fund that yields 2.5% today, but grows that dividend at 10% annually will eventually produce more income than a fund that yields 3.5% with a slower growth. The math takes years to play out, but it is real and it is important. If you're closer to, your retirement, or if you're in need of a portfolio that generates actual spendable income in the next few years, the current yield obviously matters way more. Waiting 15 years for dividend growth to really compound doesn't work if you need cash flow like this year, right? So SCHD and DGRO map to different points on that spectrum. Understanding which phase you're in determines which one belongs in your specific portfolio and in what proportion. Let's talk about the current yield with SCHD. Obviously it wins. Currently, it yields approximately 3.5% to 4% depending on where you catch it in the market cycle. DGRO yields closer to 2.2% to 2.5%. That's a meaningful gap for someone who needs income today. On 200K invested, that difference is roughly 2,000 to 3,000 extra per year in additional distributions, and that's real money for someone building a real income floor for themselves. SHD's higher yield comes from its quality filter and reconstitution process. And by systematically rotating towards stocks whose prices have declined relative to their dividends, the fund naturally accumulates positions with higher current yields. It's a structural feature, not a lucky streak, okay? Let's talk about dividend growth rate, right? With DGRO, right? DGRO is competitive here. Here's where DGRO really makes its case, right? Its 5-year dividend growth rate has historically run between 10 and 12% annually. SCHD has been similar, averaging around 11% since inception. In the most recent reconstitution, SCHD's projected growth rate ticked up slightly to around 9.3%, still meaningfully above inflation, right? The practical implication though, both funds grow their dividends at a rate that outpaces inflation over time. SCHD does it while paying more income today. DGRO does it with a lower starting yield, broader diversification. Neither fund has a dominant advantage on growth alone, okay? The edge depends on what you do with the income difference in that meantime, okay? Let's talk about diversification and concentration risk. It's important. DGRO's 400 to 500 holdings versus SCHD's 100. This is not just a number, it's a structural difference in how each fund responds to sector-specific stress, right? SCHD's concentrated portfolio means a single sector having a bad year can move the fund meaningfully, right? We saw this in 2025 when SCHD's heavy energy weighting before, the 2026 reconstitution trimmed it was a drag on performance, right? The 2026 reconstitution reduced energy exposure and it increased healthcare, it increased technology weighting, which improved the fund's positioning. But it also illustrates that a 100 stock concentrated fund carries, genuine sector concentration risk. There's no question. DGRO's broader holdings move smoothed out. No single sector or individual stock can dominate the portfolio the way energy briefly dominated SCHD. For investors who want dividend income without tracking, sector exposure actively, DGRO's, breadth is a real advantage, okay? Let's talk about tax treatment, right? Because both qualify. One thing both of funds share is their distributions are primarily qualified dividends. That means they're taxed at preferential long-term capital gains rates rather than ordinary income, 0, 15, or 20%, obviously depending on your specific bracket, rather than up to 37%. Now, for taxable account holders, this obviously matters significantly. Both SCHD and DGRO are reasonable choices in the taxable brokerage account, from a tax, efficiency standpoint inside a Roth IRA. The classification obviously is irrelevant. Both compound tax-free either way. It's fantastic. So here's the honest answer, in my opinion, to the comparison. SCHD wins on current income, right? If you need your portfolio to pay you, more right now, and you're obviously comfortable with a more concentrated, actively reconstituted 100 stock fund, SCHD delivers a higher yield with a quality filter process that has a real track record. DGRO wins on breadth, right? If you want dividend growth exposure with less sector concentration risk and you're comfortable with a lower starting yield in exchange for, more smoother, more diversified exposure, DGRO is obviously the cleaner hold. Neither fund is a complete income solution on its own. Both pay quarterly, neither generates the kind of monthly cash flow that options premium or covered call ETFs can really produce. Both are equity heavy, which means they participate in market drawdowns without the premium buffer that an options layer really provides for us. For the income architect, right, someone building multiple overlapping income streams, both funds can have a role. SCHD has the higher current yield, right, component. DGRO has the growth-oriented dividend, compounder that really diversifies sector risk. Running both isn't redundant if you understand which one and what each is doing. So I got two questions for you guys in the comments section. Are you currently holding SCHD, DGRO, or both? And did you make the choice based on what the current yield is, growth rate, or something else? Let us know in the comments. And number two, if you're closer to retirement, has your thinking on these two funds shifted compared to when, let's say, you were in an accumulation mode? I would love to hear that and to spark that conversation. And if you want to see how dividend ETFs like these fit into a full income architecture alongside an active options layer that generates, cash flow weekly and monthly rather than just quarterly, the Ark Option Workshop walks you through the complete system, a scalable strategy built for busy professionals, right? Not full-time traders. The link for it will be the first one in the description of today's video.